So as you know, because I come before this group every year, the library views you, the taxpayers, as investors in our organization. And because of that, we think it's really important to do a community report every year, no matter what our future budget looks like. And this is this year's community report. In 1 month, and these numbers always are surprising to think about for 1 month. In 1 month, the library, our 7 branches, loan out 57,000 books and other materials. We see about 66,000 visitors at our 7 locations, and I always joke that in June and July and August, we see more visitors at the library than you see at the Valley Cats games. We provide 7,000 Wi-Fi sessions, 12,000 public computer sessions. We host about 5,000 people at APL programs, activities, and events, and we experience 34,000 website visits, and we loan out 5,400 digital books and other e-media. And also, in 1 month, we provide 730 meeting rooms and study and workspaces. That's 1 month at the Albany Public Library. So what were our highlights for 2017? Well, first is our Raising a Reader early literacy program. Libraries are education, and we know that we are important when it comes to early literacy with our partners, the school district. And because of that, we've reinvigorated our early literacy programs. When you come to the library, the 2nd floor, if you're walking through the Delaware branch and you see a story time going on, that's not just about reading to children. What's going on there is teaching literacy, not just to the littles, but also to the parents that are there. And it's very important. I think it's about 30,000 words, 30,000 words that a child should hear before they hit pre-K. Where do they hear those words? Story time from their parents. Teaching and getting their parents comfortable with reading to them. So this year, we reinvigorated a program, which we expanded across the city, called Raising a Reader. And what it does is it incentivizes parents reading to their children 1,000 books. And we have multiple graduates from that program, and we're really proud of it. We want them to have a solid foundation to become readers themselves. We also had our BeatBots program, which is a fantastic robotic program where instead of having the robots battle, they had a dance-off. We really liked that. And it also won the Upper Hudson Library System Youth Program of the Year. Our local history room was honored by the Capital Area Archivists for our room and also our fantastic programs. The Albany Fund for Education honored the library for valuable services and extensive resources that we offer the students from our district. Albany Made Podcast was named Best Local Podcast in the Readers Poll in the Alt newspaper. And also, we started the Library Links program. This is a more traditional program that we're bringing back because we realize a lot of people are retiring in place in this city. And what this does is it uses volunteers to do book deliveries to seniors who cannot get out of their house. If you know of a senior, please contact the library. They might be interested in this program. We'd love to expand it. We want to get more participants. So 2017 was all about community partnerships. First and foremost, the Albany Public Library Foundation, which is a separate organization that does fundraising for us to do new and innovative programming. We have a small program budget, and we really have to weigh experimentation with what we know is going to be successful. And having the foundation doing fundraising gives us that ability they literally underwrite programs so we can do experimentation. Then there's our partnership with CDTA, particularly the Navigator Pass. How many of you are bus riders? Well, please, when you need to put more money on your Navigator card, come to one of our 6 branches. Because not only is this an added service for the public, but it's also a new source of income for us. Then there's ACAP, which is the wonderful organization that runs the Head Starts in this city. They now have 2 classrooms on the 3rd floor of this building. If you remember last year, I talked about this building and the fact that there was a lot of dark space here that we didn't necessarily know what to do with, and we wanted to see if we can use it to generate revenue. Well, this was a perfect partnership. The library makes a little bit of money, and we have 2 fantastic classes that we laugh about because we can hear them in our offices all day long. Then there's our relationship with the Albany Promise and their study of the impact of our summer reading program and our Raising a Reader program. We want to make sure that the programs we do are succeeding in what the mission was and what the mission is of the library. And the Albany Promise is helping us with that. There's CDPHP Cycle, which you see all over the city. They are now based out of our basement. And again, great partnership, generating some revenue for the library, and just a cool partnership. And then there's Senior Services of Albany. We want to expand services to seniors, so we're doing pop-up libraries and book delivery services, not just to homes, but also to where, retirement communities. Albany Public Libraries add value to the community. Libraries add value to the community. 68% of library staff live in the city of Albany. When you walk into one of our branches, you are seeing your friends and neighbors working at our branches. We're really proud of that number. It also reduces reliance on cars. So we have a program with CDTA where our staff can ride the bus for free because we want them taking the bus instead of driving cars. Our branches enhance a sense of community and reduce reliance on cars. The library is a destination for people who have retired, and we are a resource for small businesses. I joke we're the Kinkos because there's no Kinkos anymore. But if you're a small business, you're an independent contractor, where better to go than the library? Faxing, computers, Wi-Fi. During the day, our study rooms are packed. People are always like, why is the study room packed while the kids are in school? Well, if you look inside, it's adults, and it's adults doing work. And it's because of the fabulous resources we provide, like the staff at our reference desk. This is the only location in the city where there is literally a place where people sit and you can go and ask them any question you want, from baseball statistics to, directions to the museum. And I think that's a great thing that libraries do, and it's a great thing that we do. We've received a clean audit every year from our internal auditors and also from the New York State Office of the Comptroller. And then last year when we refinanced our bonds, we were given a credit rating of AA1. Anyone who knows municipal financing knows that that's like I'm like really proud of this fact. I called my mom when this happened. We were really excited about it. This is really good, and it's a process. It's a review process that we go through. So I think the city of Albany and the residents should be proud of that. In 2017, we also did our strategic plan. This was getting groups of people from neighborhood associations, regular users. We even had a group of non-users. We did surveys, and we reached out. We also have those comment cards that people can fill out all year long. We get a lot of them, which is really nice. And we go through them, especially when we were going through this process. We also visited model libraries in the region because there are some libraries out there that we see what they're doing, and we want to do what they're doing. I like to say that we are innovators, but there's always a bigger, there's always a bigger lion out there that's doing a little bit better than us. And it outlines a commitment to the community learning, providing a community learning platform, cultivating leadership, not just among our staff, but also the public, and ensuring long-term stability for the library. This is a really important point. We are the one place in the community that's open to everyone. Think about it. 10 in the morning, there is a line of people at the front of this building. They are not here to get the latest Patterson book. There's a Patterson book every month, but they're not here for that. What they're here for is because we're a safe space in the community, we're a welcoming space in the community, and we provide internet. And as we know, for many people in the city, internet is not something that they can get at their homes. So we want to ensure that what we do here continues, because this is a resource that people rely on. The strategic plan is a driving decision for the board and administration for the next 3 years. So that leads us to our 2019 budget. The 2019 library budget includes a 2% increase in the tax levy. Every year we've gone out and asked for a small increase, usually just to kind of keep up with the cost of living. And every year when we went out and presented to groups and met with people, we heard the same thing over and over again. We want more, specifically hours, which anybody who runs an organization knows keeping a building open longer is much more difficult. So a major part of this budget is increasing funding for staffing to open branches for additional morning and evening hours, including having this branch open on Thursday evenings for the first time in 5 years, which I think will be very popular. The spending plan also adds funding for ebooks because that's growing, the demand for that is growing, and increases budget for programming. Libraries across the country are recognizing the fact that we will always be about books. We will always have physical books on the shelf as long as I'm the director. And we'll always be about literacy and books. But what we're seeing growth in the most is people coming to our programs. The plan also, and this might be good news to everybody in this room, this plan also makes more rooms available for meetings during evening hours. Many neighborhood associations meet at our libraries. The biggest complaint we get outside of parking is the fact that it's really now hard to reserve a room because so many community groups use us. The budget also includes funding to continue service to the North Albany neighborhood as the board continues discussion with staff and the public how to best serve that community. So we started talking about that branch because we saw usage taking a real dip there. And we thought maybe it was time to close the doors. And thankfully, a huge and loud community group made themselves known and said, no, you are one of the last services we have in this neighborhood. And it made us rethink, and the board did a fantastic job of sitting down and saying, all right, let's at least make sure the funding is there, and then we'll try to, figure out what we do with the building after that. So the library board approved the budget of $7.1 million. This plan would increase taxes on a home assessed at $150,000 by $4.89 a year. We think that this is a reasonable ask, especially with the fact that we will be increasing services. So our budget vote is on May 15th, same as the school district, but we always like to remind people that we are separate from the school district. This is an organization that's run by 9 publicly elected trustees. There are no trustees up for election this year. They typically are every year. If you're interested in serving and on a board, this is a great way to start. It's a great group of people. The complete library budget is in all our handouts that we have here tonight, including a list of home values and what the tax impact would be. And then our polling locations will be made available by the school district at their website. I'm Scott Jarzonbeck. I do open office hours every Thursday at a different location. It's from 1 to about 6 o'clock. And the idea is not just to meet with staff, but also meet with members of the public. I've gotten a little lonely over the last few months. So please write down my contact information. Keith knows you can find me. You can talk my ear off about what you care about. We're gonna listen the best we can to make things happen. This is also my contact information. Do not hesitate to call, email me, follow us on social media. The library does so much. I can't keep track of what we do. And thank God I follow us on social media because then I know what programs are going on for my kids. And I'll open the floor up for questions for a couple minutes.
Do you have, is the library under the tax cap thing?
Yes.
Yes.
We are, and there's a possibility that we will be over this year. However, the board can vote can override the tax cap.
The cap is 2%, but there's a formula.
It's never 2%. It's always all over the place, 1.9, 1.7, and then you have to calculate in, did you go over the year before, and then you're given a little bit of room there. It's not a fun process because of the way the library's fiscal year is set up. It's even harder for us because it's actually 6 months out. We won't know what our tax cap is until I think September. Mark.
Scott, I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
I think the way the library is running, I think it's the best that I've seen in 20 years.
Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you.
Kudos to you.
Thank you.
I didn't see anything on here about my passion.
Yes.
Could you talk about that a little bit?
So the PEG studio should be open in I think it's a month. Some of you, there's some board members here for PEG. So PEG is a separate organization from the library, and we host several organizations in this building. What we discovered about it might have been 6 months ago, is that our agreement with the city was never signed. And because of that, anything that went on in that studio was a liability on us. And I actually said to the said to the PEG board, listen, this agreement needs to be signed. And we have to lock the doors until the agreement is signed. We sent it over, everybody's lawyer looked at it, and now the agreement's been signed.
And what does it say?
It just says that, we don't charge rent to them and that they make sure that they're insuring their program.
And, for those who don't know, PEG is Public Education Government Access, and this channel is called Channel Albany. And you say it's going to be open when?
Ron, I know that I've met the new coordinator, so they're close.
Because the end of the month will be a year that it's
Yes,
closed.
yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, so this is my third time hearing this.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Inspiring every time.
Thank you, thank you.
But I keep forgetting to ask, on my bucket list is restarting the tool library for the city of Albany. Is that something that instead of me trying to do with the library, do we all have to have a huge ladder? Do we all have to have a?
So we've actually talked about that. Libraries have really across the country have embraced this idea, the library of things. And at this location, you can borrow a bike lock, a fishing pole, even a MiFi, a hotspot for a month. So if your internet goes down, you can get internet from the library. In my interview for this position, I talked about tool libraries, and it's something that we're definitely going to revisit. And I think it really pairs well here with Albany Made, our maker space. So you might want to have a conversation with Sarah.
Yeah, the land trust ran one in the past, and there's just so much rehab that has to happen in these neighborhoods that we love so much. But we just have not been able to get it together, but maybe with you, because we already partnered on other.
It would be fantastic. Yep, love that. Yes.
One minor complaint about scheduling rooms at the library. When our association lost its previous meeting location, we moved over to the Delaware Avenue Library. Nice facility, we loved it. Only problem was, we meet 8 months of the year. We could tell them exactly which 8 months, and they wouldn't take it except for, you want it for next month? Okay, we'll give you next month, but beyond that, we won't give you anything.
So we're trying to work out or change our policy a little bit so that organizations like neighborhood associations that are important civic institutions get the rooms out for the year. So I'll have a conversation with you about that because we can work on something. Usually I'll get an email directly from somebody and we work on it from there. Because we see the neighborhood associations, they make our jobs easier because they get the word out. And I've worked in a few municipalities now, and there is no other municipality I've worked in that has as great of a neighborhood association ecosystem as the city of Albany. So we want to make sure you guys are using our space to meet. Anyone else? Yes.
I just want to congratulate you for the idea of putting more hours into the budget. The more these places can be open, in my dream world, it's 24 hours a day.
Sure, same with mine too. Staff nightmare, but for me, my dream. So thank you. Gene.
You presented an interesting statistic that 67% of the library staff live in the city of Albany. Given the fact that in so many of the city departments and agencies, 67% of the staff don't live in the city of Albany. What have you learned, or are there any lessons that can promote a higher number of city employees and their agencies
Well,
who live in the city of Albany?
we're lucky because, our staff is about 128 right now. So compared to the school district, the police department, other city agencies, we're a little bit smaller. But what we've been kind of lucky with is the fact that when you walk in the door of a library, not all the staff have a master's in library science. Many of the staff are clerks, are community engagement clerks. There are people who the requirement's a high school diploma. So we've learned that if we create positions that aren't just library degrees, we can attract more people from inside the city. And also, we're really embedded in the community. I always say the library is not four walls. The library is the city, and we're an agency that serves everyone. And I think that resonates with people, and that gets people excited about our mission. I can tell you for our clerk positions, there is a requirement in order to take the test to be a city resident, so that always helps us with our numbers. Okay, thank you. Oh, yes.
I just wanted to comment that I really enjoy the art that you
Yes.
display in the libraries. And you don't really bring that up in your presentation, but I think it's also a really important resource for the community that you go in there and you see art by local artists, and I really enjoy it and make a point of walking around the library to
And that's paid for by our foundation, and we have a gala in October. It'll be at the Hal Branch, which is my favorite building. So if you like the art show or you like some of the experimental programming that we have been doing, please attend our gala. The information's on the website, it's on the foundation's website. What we make from the gala helps underwrite things like the art show at Pine Hills. Yes, Mark?
If you don't mind, just to briefly explain the mechanics of how the library gets funded. Does it go through another, does the money go through another agency? How does the money?
So the school district is kind enough to collect the money for us, but we're basically our own entity.
So they collect the money.
And then give it to us right away. Very good about that.
And
Not just saying it because they're in the room. They haven't really. I mean, we really appreciate some libraries really struggle in this model, but they've been fantastic partners with us. So no complaints. And about 90% of our budget is from the money we collect in taxes. 10% is the copy fees, the selling Navigator passes. We hope to grow that because we don't want everything to be on the taxpayer. But yeah, we're lucky. We have a lot of great community partners. They help us out.
keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Great staff,
Thank you.
and that's a reflection on you.
Thank you. All right. I want to let the school present, so thank you so much.